So I decided to make a Premier League prediction. I decided to make a table, who was going to finish first, who was going to be the three teams that were going to get relegated. I know I'm pretty late to the party. The first fixture, the first week has already been played, but I feel like it's still pretty open to see who can finish in whatever position. So starting off, I have Sheffield United finishing in last place. I feel like they're going to be the first team relegated for sure. I feel like the quality that they have is not good enough for the Premier League. And I feel like they have a lot of older people in their team as well. Secondly, I think that Brighton's going to finish in 19th. They barely stayed up last season, finishing in 17th. And I feel like it's about time that they're going to be relegated to the Championship. And then finishing in 18th, I have Norwich, which might be a surprise to some people. I know that they finished first in the Championship last season and that they're a pretty hyped team as well, having a lot of young talent in their ranks and whatever. But I feel like they might be relegated. They might stay up, maybe. I'm not too sure. But I don't feel like they have the quality to be in the Premier League as well. They do have a young team, but as well as being young and being inexperienced in this league, I feel like that's going to play a big part in them being relegated. I feel like they might fight for it, but who knows? I don't know. I'll put them in the 18th spot for right now. In 17th, I have Burnley, who I feel is gonna kind of drop off right now. I feel like they're going to be battling to stay up as well. I know they have a manager, an English manager that's highly rated by most English fans and most English people, which is Sean Dyche. And I know he's even put them up in the 7th position. They finished 7th one season. I think it was like 2 seasons ago. But after that, they really fell off, and I feel like they're not up to par, and I don't know. And then 16th, I have Southampton, so we'll see how it goes for them. And 15th, I have Aston Villa. I feel like they are a young team as well, but they're one of the teams in Europe that spent the most money on transfers, and they're pretty high up there, even competing with like the most big teams with Barcelona, Madrid, and I don't know. I think they were like 5th overall on summer transfers, and so I feel like that might be enough. I'm not really too sure who they brought in and whatever. But I know that they have some pretty young talent as well, and I feel like they have the quality to stay in the Premier League. And most people say that they are a Premier League club, so I think they'll be there. Finishing 14th, I have Crystal Palace. I know a lot of people say that they're going to drop off. They did finish 12th last season, but I feel like they'll still be up there. They're missing some people with Michy Batshuayi, and they want Zaha to leave, and they lost Wan-Bissaka to Manchester United, but I feel like they'll finish 14th, pretty comfortable in that mid-table, I guess. Bournemouth, I feel like they're going to be raising their quality. I know they finished 14th, I think, last season, so I feel like they're just going to be one up themselves and just finish a little bit higher. I know a lot of people think that Newcastle's going to be relegated. I put them in the 12th position. But I feel like the quality that they have is still there. I know they're missing their manager, and they don't really rate this new manager as well. But I feel like they're gonna be up there. I know they were I think they finished 13th last season, and I feel like they'll be in the conversation. Not in the conversation, but they're not gonna be as low, or they're not gonna be perceived as they're not gonna be as low of a standard as people perceive them to be. And finishing 11th, I have Watford, which I feel like they're just going to stay the same as they were last season. And so the major changes are like that second tier of football in the English Premier League. I have Leicester finishing 10th, which might be a surprise to a lot of people, but I feel like not having Harry Maguire in your back line as a center back is going to be very costly, and it's going to be really harmful. And I feel like they do have the quality to be up there, but with other teams getting other transfers as well. And Leicester did get some pretty good transfers with Iosi Perez from Newcastle. I feel like they're going to drop off just because of the defensive liability. Having a liability in the defensive end. West Ham, I feel, is actually going to go one up higher. They're going to finish in 9th. I know they finished 10th, but I feel like West Ham, with the transfers that they did pull off, and I know they lost like 5-0 against Manchester United, but I mean not Manchester United, against Manchester City. But I feel like their quality is going to be there. They didn't play Pablo Fornals, who I rate pretty highly, and I feel like he's going to be someone to look at for this next upcoming season. I feel like Everton is going to go a little bit higher as well. I feel like they're going to finish 8th this time. I know they brought in a lot of people, and that could also be something to play not in their favor, but play to their downfall. But I feel like they are going to finish pretty high. And especially with the transfers that they have, I feel like they are going to be contending up there. I feel like Wolves is going to stay the same. Wolves have been playing good, especially last season. They surprised everybody. But I feel like they still have the same quality of players. They did get Crotone from Milan, and I feel like he is a good signing as well. I feel like Manchester United is going to stay put. I might be overrating them right now, or might be underrating them, whatever. But I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to finish the job there. He might get fired before. I know the hype train is pretty high because they just beat Chelsea like 4-0. But after seeing Chelsea in that Super Cup against Liverpool, I see that he put a lot of inexperience in that first team against Manchester United, and I feel like that's why Manchester United was pretty crucial in the opportunities that they had. But I feel like they're just going to be in 6th place as they were before. And then the top 5 right here, these are my top 5. I feel like Chelsea is actually going to be in contention. I feel like they're going to be the 5th. They're going to finish 5th in the league. I think a lot of people say that they're going to finish even lower. They could even finish 7th or whatever, or 6th, and Manchester should be here. But I feel like they do have a good team, and especially what they showed me in that Super Cup, I feel like they play good. Just having that solid group of players playing, and then trying to put in the inexperienced ones in the team, I think Frank Lampard is going to be able to pull off a 5th place positioning in the table, which you might call me crazy for, but I feel like he can do it. And finishing 4th, I think Arsenal is going to finish 4th. They solved a lot of their problems. They were one of the most hyped teams coming into this Premier League season because of all the transfers they've been doing. They're my Premier League team. Like I like Arsenal a lot, but I feel like they are going to finish top 4 this time. I would like them to finish 3rd, but I don't think they're going to be over Tottenham, especially Tottenham having the transfers that they did, especially with the best one, in my opinion, for me, would be Ndombele. That is a top transfer for me. That is something that Tottenham's been missing or lacking in the midfield, and that transfer right there, I feel like, is going to be the difference maker for them to stay over Arsenal and finish in the 3rd position. Finishing 2nd, I have Liverpool. I feel like they're not going to be as good as they were last season. I know they didn't really bring any transfers, just bringing this guy from the Netherlands that's like a young prospect. But I feel like they're going to fall off a little bit, especially seeing that if Sadio Mane or Salah or Firmino is not on the team, they really are affected. I know they can pick up pick up the pace with Origi, and they're still contending with him, and especially they showed that against Barcelona. But I don't think in the league, like, missing one of those guys is going to be pretty devastating. And I don't feel like they're going to be all the way contending like they were last season, where like they just lost the league by a point. But I feel like ultimately Manchester City, it's their league to lose. They've been the best team these past 2 seasons, and the quality that they're getting, or that they're attracting, is insane. Pep Guardiola has just put his stamp on this team, and I even see them contending for the Champions League, because I feel like VAR was kind of very influential on them not passing, and everybody bullies them or whatever, or says that they're not the quality that they need to be, and Pep Guardiola this and Pep Guardiola that. But he just won a domestic treble, and I'm pretty sure he's going to win the Champions League here because he has all the resources too as well. But I see them winning this league pretty comfortably this next season. So this is all I got to say for this video. I hope you like the video. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep y'all posted on other football related news. Peace out.